This is your host Ram with you on your cricket show, Cricket Happenings, and we are going to look at day three in the first test match between Australia and New Zealand, where Australia definitely holding an iron grip over New Zealand going into the fourth day. We'll be talking about that, and then also I will do a preview of the upcoming ODI series between India and West Indies. The first ODI takes place tomorrow at Chennai, and unfortunately, I have to say the news is not good coming in Chennai. There is a forecast for rain, and also we have a look at to the and New Zealand, and I'm going to narrate a short tale about what happened on the third day. And they had two batsmen at the crease. Ross Taylor, a solid draw. Fortunately, that was not the case today. BJ Watling got a ball which actually rose towards his nose, and then the next ball he was a goner, and that would have been a mighty relief for the Aussies, because, as you know, BJ Watling is someone who can really adapt a huge lead to the Aussies of 250 runs in the first innings. So BJ Watling, as I said, was taken aback because, as I said, the first ball that Patrick Cummins bowled to him rose towards his nose, and the other ball was a short delivery. As far as the next delivery was concerned from Pat, again, it was quite a pacey delivery, and also again the ball once again rose, and he was just getting into the shot. But by the time it by Cummins for 8. So that was wicket number 1 on the after playing a near flawless innings of 80 with 9 boundaries. Was a victim of the bowling of the bowlers. Other than that, Ross Taylor had him, and this particular delivery that Nathan Lyon served to Ross Taylor was one of those deliveries which was really a very big off break, which went through the that was the one which really would have worried Taylor. That was this particular delivery was a one which probably it did not turn outside edge, and it was Smith who was gobbling up the catch. And after that, it was pretty quick work. Mitchell Starc got into the act. Granholm was dismissed for 23 of 21 deliveries, which had really a brute of a bouncer, which was almost coming on to Granholm to defend, and was a good catch taken by Smith. So really a fiery delivery coming from Starc, getting an early end to Granholm's innings. After that, Labuschagne really surprised everybody. Labuschagne, we all know that he's a leg spinner. He has bowled against Indians as well. And what a ball from Labuschagne. This is the classic leg break, which is bowled by Marnus Labuschagne. Now, this is what, as I said, when a player plays well, basically the confidence is sky high. And it's always better if someone has a sort of another skill. It's always better to really thrust them into the front. And that's what precisely I would really say good captaincy from Tim Paine, as Mitchell Santos clean bowled with a classic leg breaks. It actually it was basically pitched into the footmarks outside the off stump of Santos, basically driving against the turn. The ball spun sharply, and the off stump was out of the ground. So Santos gone bowled Labuschagne for 2, and Labuschagne really it would have been a good victory there. An arm offie as he sliced the ball, and backward point was in the picture, taking the catch. It was the end of Tim Southee for 8 with 1 boundary. Ferguson was not out on not, so it was good to see Ferguson walking out to bat. And finally, the New Zealand ends 166, so not a good score at all under the circumstances. And definitely Looking at the way the pitch has been behaving, some balls really rising up a lot, and also at sometimes even keeping low, one could really say that New Zealand actually batting well on this pitch, and especially considering the Aussies have taken a massive lead in this particular first innings. I think it's going to be a sort of a real struggle for New Zealand to actually get out of this particular situation. But time will tell the story. But let's now talk about the bowling figures. Mitchell Stark, splendid bowling figures: 18 overs, 2 maidens, 52 runs, and 5 wickets. Really bowled splendidly. And as I said, even without Josh Hazelwood, the about Josh Hazelwood is unfortunately not very encouraging. He has been put out of the ODI series, out of the Test series, unfortunately, and that's not good news at all. Hazelwood with a hamstring is out of the Test reports concern, and which is not good news. But nevertheless, Australia still have this particular Test match absolutely in their grasp right now. Cummins 1 for 46. Nathan Lyon 2 for 48, taking some wider wickets there, especially the big fish Ross Taylor. Nathan Lyon 2 for 40, and Labuschagne 5 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 9. Nathan Lyon 14.2 overs, 2 maidens, 48 runs, and 2 wickets. The Aussies in their second innings, walking in with a cushion of 250 runs, put on the opening partners, David Warner and Joe Burns, putting on a partnership of 44 for the first wicket before the first wicket was taken by Tim Southee. Tim Southee was the one who picked up the wicket of David Warner. Now, this was not a good shot from David Warner. He wanted to pull the delivery from Tim Southee. The ball went, hit the splice of the bat, went into midair, and it was the substitute Tom Blandell at mid-on taking the catch, and Warner was gone. So Warner was gone for 19 with 3 boundaries. Burns was at the crease with Labuschagne joining him, and now it was a wonderful partnership, a partnership which yielded 87 runs to the good, with Australia settling down a bit there with this particular partnership. Labuschagne was more circumspect, one thought, and at the other end we also saw Joe Burns being very, very watchful, as both chiseled together a partnership of 87 runs, and the score reached 101. That was the time, with the pitch actually really beginning to really aid the short deliveries, which used to really rise a lot. There was a lot of short stuff which was in store on the third day. And the next wicket to go was Marnus Labuschagne. Neil Wagner, the aggressive bowler, was in charge there. Now, once again, it was a pull shot. Labuschagne had reached his 50 with 3 boundaries. Wagner, as you know, is someone who really thrives on the short stuff, and really likes to serve the short stuff to the batsman. He got one, he bounced one, and it was Labuschagne who was really cramped for room there, and all that he could do is miss it the delivery. Mitchell Santner took a very easy catch at forward square leg. So that was the end of Labuschagne for 50, and I'm sure New Zealand would have been greatly relieved to see this man walk back to the pavilion. Stephen Smith joined Joe Burns, and Joe Burns, as I said, had a cautious 53 to his name with 6 boundaries, and it was Southee getting the wicket of Joe Burns. Now, again, as I said, this particular day, on the third day, we have seen the ball was really flying, absolutely, and definitely the bowlers were very smart. They were trying to bang the ball into the pitch so that they can get as much bounce as possible, and that was one of those deliveries which really went big at Joe Burns. He jumped, he fended, it was all over. It was Henry Nicholls who was in the gully who got the catch, and that was the end of Joe Burns. 53, 6 boundaries. Stephen Smith and Matthew Wade were at the crease. The score read 148 for 3, but Stephen Smith Smith was a victim of the bowling of Neil Wagner. Now, this was another short delivery which Wagner bowled. It was a pull shot which was attempted by Stephen Smith. Even though he hit it absolutely flat, G Travel was, the ball, he had to really sprint in, but G Travel definitely did it. He sprinted and he took the catch. So definitely that was a good one. And Stephen Smith was Scott Travel bowled Wagner 16, 3 boundaries. Picking up his wicket, getting caught by Grandholm in gully. This was Saudi trying to glance, Head trying to glance a delivery on the leg side, and it was all over. Grandholm absolutely would have loved this because it was absolute catching practice for him as he held the catch. Travis Head was gone for 5 with 1 boundary for 6, but definitely I wouldn't say it's any trouble because with their lead, they were absolutely sitting pretty. This ball from Tim Saudi was coming round the wicket. He angled the ball. There was a scramble seam and Payne. There was no foot movement. He tried to push the ball from the crease. He was totally playing down the wrong line, and the ball went on to hit off the middle stump. And it was all over. And at stumps on day 3, the Aussies were placed at 167 for 6. Matthew Wade had a sort of a real tussle with Neil Wagner, with words being exchanged between both the blokes. But it was good to see when they were finally walking away for the day. It was good to see Matthew Wade getting a bit friendly with the contest on the field. And when you come out, you basically really get friendly. Share a glass of beer with one another in the pub. And that's what precisely cricket is all about. So Matthew Wade is sitting pretty in this particular test match, in the first test match. Go the bowling figures of the Kiwi bowlers. Team Saudi was the pick of the bowlers. 19 overs, 6 minutes, 63 runs and 4 wickets. Neil Wagner, tremendous bowling from him. 17 overs to 40 runs and 2 wickets. That is the match situation. Australia, absolutely, I can still say they are the driver's seat, especially since the way this particular pitch has been playing. As I said, short stuff is something which would be the order of the test. Accordingly, it might even become a sort of a treacherous pitch, probably going into the final day. But it all depends on how the Kiwis face up. I think Kiwis would have a real battle. For now, I have to say that let's leave it from of the first ODI of the series coming up between India and West Indies. As you know, India and West Indies fought a very long, very good, very interesting, but definite. And we have a set of players who are particularly suited to that, especially as you know, when it rains and the pitch starts drying up. We all know what happened. They definitely wanting to play two spinners, two frontline spinners. So India would be very well equipped in the department. There's no about that. Vijendra Chahal in Chennai. So I think it's KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Kohli, Shreyas Iyer. Now Rishabh Pant, definitely Rishabh Pant is definitely under the microscope. We knew that was T20 cricket. He had to throw his bat round, but Rishabh Pant, to me, is in real pressure. And if I'm sure that this particular ODI series that against West Indies, if he is not really going to fire, I'm afraid Rishabh Pant would probably not be a part of even the T20 World Cup, because he's back to his basics and come back hard to the Indian team. So Rishabh Pant will be under tremendous pressure, according to me. Kedar Jadhav. Now, Kedar Jadhav, it has been quite a long time since India has played one-day internationals. As you know, the focus has been T20 cricket and test matches. And here comes Kedar Jadhav, such a utility player for India. And then Shivam, and Shivam has already shown what a capable player he is. I'm just shuddering to think when India has two genuine all-rounders in the form of Shivam Dube and Hardik Pandya. Where are they going to accomplish? Definitely under And as I said, the spin mantra would be there as I said, it has been pouring in Chennai. There is more forecast for rain, but there has not been any sunshine. But say, for example, the sun shines and the spinners can really make the batsmen dance to the tune. Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal would be the spinners, and Mohammad Shami. And Mohammad Shami, we all know what a fantastic bowler he is. The way of ODI, but definitely he's quite a reliable opener. He will open with Shy Hope, and Shy Hope is absolute class. And then they have Roston Chase, who has already said that he would like to be the number one all-rounder in the world. At one, we have seen Roston Chase has shown his all-round qualities in good measure. So Roston Chase will be coming in as one drop, and then that best day, that Kieron Pollard following, and I will have to pin from South Africa, none other than the former Mark Boucher, the former wicketkeeper, who a very unfortunate ended his career when a ball actually struck his eye and his career came to an end. Mark Boucher, one of the wonderful wicketkeepers that South Africa ever produced, he is the one who has been named as the lead coach till the year 2023, and Jack Scalise would well be the batting coach of South Africa from reports coming by. This being said, as I said, I'm parking right now as far as this cricket show is concerned. Folks, about the 4 days proceedings between India and West Indies, with rain not really. It's Ram parking this cricket happen.